Stadium in Oakland, California, sold out as the Colts have come to meet the Raiders on a very windy day, gusting up to 30 miles an hour. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Don Criqui with Beasley Reese. Indianapolis coach Ted Marchibroda says we're climbing a mountain, and the mountain's getting higher. The Colts look for a rare playoff appearance. Right now, the lead mountain climber is Jim Harbaugh. He's been sensational.
You know, in our meeting, I asked Jim Harbaugh, when was the last time he had this much fun playing football? He said 1991, they won 11 games when he was with the Bears, but I think he's never been better. Let's take a look at some of his stats. He's the #1 rated quarterback in the National Football League at 105.3, over 1,000 yards already, completing 65.9% of his passes. Jim Harbaugh is putting on a show.
But as impressive as Harbaugh, the Colts' defense has been just as good. The defense has been attacking. They hit Steve Young 12 times, and they sacked him 6 others. And 18 hits on Young knocked him out of the game for a month. And Quentin Corey, at an outside linebacker, has been the lead attacker. 19 tackles last week.
Well, you hear it here first. He will go to Hawaii. At the end of this season, he'll make the Pro Bowl. He's always played well, but this time he's on a good team that's getting some national recognition, and that's how you make it to the Pro Bowl.
Jeff Hostetler was knocked out of the game Monday night as the Raiders suffered a devastating loss, and so the ageless one, Vince Evans, gets the call today at quarterback.
Well, every middle-aged man in America, I don't care which team you're rooting for today, should at least salute this guy. 40 years old, 16 years in the league, and you know what? He's still fast, he's still agile, and he still has a gun for an arm.
The Raiders say they're going to get down to basics today. They're going to go back to running the ball, but the Colts will start out with the football. They have won the toss. As 64-year-old Ted Marchibroda, a man very optimistic about his team, he said, we have learned to win. There's Mike White, 59 years old, 14 years a head coach in college, but this is his first head coaching season in the NFL. Jager's ready to kick off. Ronald Humphrey and Lamont Warner back for the Colts. The ball is hit downfield. This is Ronald Humphrey at the 4. The 20. Hits a gap and shoots out to the 33-yard line.
Humphrey return.
Taken down on the play by James Folston as we look at Jim Harbaugh and the Indianapolis offense. Harbaugh, out of the University of Michigan, played high school football in nearby Palo Alto when his dad was an assistant coach at Stanford. Will Wolford, Joe Stasiak, Kirk Laudermilk, Eric Mollum, and Jason Matthews, 2 young guys on the right side, a very sound line. Roosevelt Potts has been an underestimated performer this year. He has the Colts' longest run and their longest reception. Wide receiver corps somewhat depleted by injuries, but they've been effective, the guys they have in there. Harbaugh on first down, hands off. And Marshall Faulk, with that remarkable elusiveness, loses the ball. He gained 9 and then lost it. Let's see what the officials rule. The Colts are saying the cover's down. Joey Austin, the referee, has not made a signal yet. Eddie Anderson was on the ball, and now the signal comes. The Raiders, on the first play from scrimmage, take the ball away.
What a death sentence. I mean, what a way to start out a big game. This is a huge game for Indianapolis. It's great vision by Marshall Faulk. I tell you, it looks like he was almost down there. When you look at the replay, the ball doesn't come out until it looks like his elbow hits the ground. Good blocking up front. Marshall Faulk finding the back door, and it really looked like that ball came out as his knee was down and his right elbow hit the ground. Of course, the officials have a better view. They're right there, but I think Indianapolis fans have got to be a little upset about that.
The continuing controversy over replay. Should we have it or should we not? Speculation it'll be back in. Right now, the Raiders have the ball. As in to make the tackle for Indianapolis is Jeff Hostetler on the Harvey Williams carry. The Raiders' offensive line has really been decimated by injuries. Both starting tackles are out. Russell Freeman now steps in for Skrepanak. Vince Evans in at quarterback for the injured Hostetler. Good runners, Schenner and Williams, and great wide receiver speed. They go with a double tight end formation. Gary Cash, who was a Colt last year, one of the Raider tight ends. On second down and 8, they go back to the run. Power slant ball on the field. Colts have it. Indianapolis has the ball. Raiders had it for a moment, then lost it. So Harvey Williams pops it right back up, and the Raiders are unable to take advantage of a golden early opportunity. These guys are putting helmets on the football. We're going to see more of this.
Recovery by Jason Belzer
to the hospital. Steve Wozniak coming out with a good block. And look at Harvey Williams on the inside, bouncing around, lets the ball go. And Jason Belzer, number 29, comes up with the ball. Now, one thing you'll notice about the Colts defense, look how many white shirts are around that football. They gain tackle. They take pride in it. So turnover for turnover, a sloppy way to start out a big football.
First and 37 for the Colts.
So Indianapolis will try again. First down and 10. Actually picked up a few yards in the exchange. Here's Harbaugh looking deep. Arcs the ball downfield, and Marshall Faulk makes the play. Inside the 35-yard line of
Harbaugh
Oakland.
to Marshall Faulk.
Derek Hoskins, the strong safety, trying to run with him. But Marshall Faulk in the wing comes down with a long ball.
Derek
Now you
Hoskins.
see Marshall Faulk
and
lined up
Eddie
in a
Anderson
slot receiver formation. He comes down
at the
and breaks out to the
43-yard
corner.
line.
That's a flag route. Now, how good does the throw have to be? It's got to be high and over the shoulder.
30-yard gain, first down, Indianapolis.
Super pattern, super catch by Marshall Faulk, but an even better throw by Jim Harbaugh.
And a 31-yard gain on the play. So the Colts hit the big play early. Now they start to challenge. They go back to Marshall Faulk. Raiders waiting for him. But you don't have him until he's on the ground. You're sitting on him.
Marshall Faulk carries to the 31-yard line.
That's the Colts do what they call that's a form of the old counter tray. Watch linemen
Tackled
come
by
from the top
Rob
of your
Fredrickson
field.
at the 32-yard line, a gain of 1.
Get Marshall Faulk dancing, darting, water bugging on the inside. You'll see a great running back today. Actually, a couple of them, but Marshall Faulk is in a class by himself.
Faulk comes in, averaging 4.2 a carry, just under 500 yards so far in the first 6 games. Harbaugh takes a look, throws a slant pattern, and the ball is dropped by Sean Dawkins, who played it nearby Cal Berkeley.
For Sean Dawkins.
We take a look at the Raider defense. Huge tackles in Jerry Ball and Chester McLaughlin. Pat Swilling having a terrific year rushing the passer. He has 6 sacks. Good linebackers. Mike Jones has made a lot of big plays. Mustafa will be targeted. He is in for the injured Albert Lewis. Broncos hit heavy on Mustafa's side on Monday night. Third down and 9 now. Jim Harbaugh sets in the shotgun. Opening drive. Actually, there was a turnover on the opening drive. Still no score in the game. Both teams have turned the ball over once in the early moments of this game, and now markers are down all over.
John, one thing to take note of while they're starting this out, number 20, Derek Hoskins, the fine safety for the Raiders, is out of the game. He came off holding his groin, and he's going to take a play off. But that's key because this guy's got 40 tackles already. He's a very good football player. There he is. He's going to probably take his pants down, still holding that groin area. He pulled something in there. That's one to watch.
More than his feelings were hurt, I guess, when Marshall beat him deep. Faulk being on that 31-yard pass play to set up the field position that the Colts are in now.
I tell you what Marshall Faulk made him do is run faster than he really wanted to run first play of the game. I mean, he had to go.
Before the ball was snapped, and before any movement on the offense, neutral zone infraction on the defense, 5 yards. It's still third down.
So instead of 3rd and 9, Mike White sees his Raiders now faced with a 3rd and 4 play for Indianapolis. Art Shabrota, his offense now designed and pretty much run by Lindy and Foddy, and Harbaugh says it's something to behold. New plays coming in every week. They got a playbook that looks like a phone book. They run maybe the most diverse offense right now in the NFL. Harbaugh stands in, makes the throw, and Dawkins this time gets it and holds on for the first down as he's down to the 17-yard line. Taken down by Najee Mustafa. You'll hear his name often today. They're going after him.
You know, no more than a half hour ago, I was standing with Jimmy Robinson, the wide receiver coach for the Colts, and we talked about Dawkins because he's a guy with big-time talent. He had some trouble with some drop balls last year, but Jimmy praised him and said that I should do the same thing. The guy's been really concentrating. His work ethic has been perfect, and there he is with a big first-down catch.
That was his 22nd catch of the year, a former #1 draft choice out of Cal Berkeley. Raiders digging in on defense. Colts challenging. Handoff goes, and look at that skip. That was the great defensive tackle, Chester McLaughlin, who shot the gap. 325 pounds. A knockout punch put on Marshall Faulk.
Oh, that's a lot to shoot. You see big Jerry Ball, big Chester McLaughlin. Those are huge defensive linemen. That's 650 pounds worth of defensive linemen coming in right there. They run a little bit of a game, and Chester steps right into the running back.
2nd and 13 from the 20.
Second down, about 13 on the loss on the play. Harbaugh drops. Fires near side. There's his big receiver, Sean Dawkins, again, as he turns out.
Sean Dawkins.
And it's Terry McDaniel, who's been a Pro Bowl player.
Knocked out of bounds
Who
by
makes the
Terry
play.
McDaniel at the 13-yard line.
Jacksonville Jaguars, an upset winner again today.
Is that unbelievable?
We don't know if it is unbelievable
well,
now.
you know, you're right. I mean, Jacksonville has got a great defense. They never quit. It's one of the great stories in the NFL right now.
They've won 3 of their last 4 and almost beat the Bears.
3rd and 6.
And we welcome those of you who've been watching Jacksonville defeat Cleveland. As right now, Jim Harbaugh looking for a place to go. Markers are down, and Harbaugh's on the run. Turns it up, turns it in, and dives to the 2-yard line. If the play goes, he'll have a first down. But there are 2 markers down on the field. Sometimes in those scrambling plays, linemen get downfield.
Tackled by Terry McDaniel.
There's Jacksonville, a 23-15 winner over Cleveland.
Offsides, number 56.
Play goes.
Penalty is declined.
Pat Swilling jumped early at right defensive end.
Penalty declined.
As Jacksonville today became the first expansion team to win 3 games before November. This is Don Criqui with Beasley Reese at Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. It's sold out on a sunny, windy day in Northern California. The Raiders stunned and beaten up 27-0 last Monday night at Denver, trying to get back on track. Now after early turnovers in this game, both teams fumbled on their first possessions. The Colts are driving. Harbaugh's been very accurate in the win. And now his team is point-blank range. First down and goal from the 2. Faulk, markers. Marshall Faulk spins and goes in, but we'll see what the call is. It might be a holding call here, Beasley.
Before the ball was snapped, the 40-second clock expired. 5 yards.
So the first penalty against Indianapolis negates Marshall Faulk's dive into the end zone and sets the ball back to the 7-yard line.
Well, we've basically had one good highlight in this game. There's Lindy Infante, the offensive coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts. He saw all his calls. It's his offense. Ted Marshall-Brothers like the president of the organization, and Lindy's like a division leader. Here's a big play coming up.
First and goal from the 7. No score, first quarter. Harbaugh shuffles it ahead, gets it to his fullback. Big Roosevelt Potts takes it. He's hit hard by middle linebacker Greg Beaker to the Raiders. And it'll be second and goal from inside the 5. We'll take a low-angle look.
See, this is what I love about Harbaugh. He can improvise, and this is a very dangerous play. You know, you kind of push it forward, and it's not a high percentage connection between the running back, but they got away with it that time. But once again, it's Harbaugh's athletic ability that comes up with the last couple of plays.
Play killed Bubby Brister of the Jets a week ago. He threw it right to a linebacker, Sam Mills of Carolina. Harbaugh almost lost his footing. Now he'll definitely, he gets the ball away. But the Raiders defense is in position as they hem in and knock down Marshall Faulk for a loss on the play. Rob Fredrickson, an outside linebacker from Michigan State, makes the stop.
Well, you can see the pressure that's coming in on Harbaugh here. Everything's fine now. But with the little slip, it allows Chester McLaughlin to get in the play, Pat Swilling to get in the play. And then for the 3rd time, it's really Jim Harbaugh's improvisational skills. You know, they just restarted this infield, so it's loose in some spots. But it's Harbaugh's athletic ability to get the ball off.
He's now 5 of 6 throwing the ball, Jim Harbaugh, for 48 yards. From the shotgun, he looks, he fires, he's got a man. And the ball is dropped. Bobby Olive, a young wide receiver out of Ohio State. This is a perfect throw.
That was a super throw and a great opportunity for Olive. He's not a guy that gets a whole lot of playing time, so it's an opportunity to show everybody that he deserves to be there. And boy, Harbaugh put it right where it needed to be.
Now Kerry Blanchard comes up. You know his story. Kerry Blanchard, 6 straight field goals in as many tries for Indianapolis. Out of football at home, and Oklahoma gets the call. And he now is 7 of 7 as a Colt. They take the lead 3-0. He's the man that beat the Raiders with an overtime field goal. And the Indianapolis Colts take the lead 3-0 with 7:43 to play in the first quarter. Next up, it'll be the Colts kicking off, Beasley Reese.
Well, Indianapolis dodged a bullet there, coming out fumbling. Sloppy drive in some respects by both teams. Penalties. Drop pass by that young man, but I'm sure he'll redeem himself, Bobby Olive. See how upset he is. Coach White's probably upset also. He's great attention to detail guy, and to see his team jumping off sides and making mistakes and giving back a huge turnover the second play of the game is something that you can't accept.
Lindy Infante giving some counsel to his quarterback, Jim Harbaugh. And the Raiders drop back a couple of terrific kick returns. Harbaugh really had the throw on the money. Bobby Olive just couldn't hold it. Drilled in the tight spiral. Harbaugh very animated. They all talk about how contagious he is in the huddle. He really picks up the whole team with his enthusiasm. Here's the kickoff. It's very short in the wind. Watch this guy go. Napoleon Kaufman out of the University of Washington. Goodbye. He is gone. The race is on, and Napoleon Kaufman will run away from the field and give the Oakland Raiders the lead. 82 yards. Whoops, there it is. Comes over the loudspeaker system.
Well, there's nothing like a big-time highlight in a sold-out crowd on a beautiful day. The young rookie comes through, and how fast is that guy, John?
Well, he's a 2-time California State High School champion in the 100 meters and 200 meters. I was talking to Al Davis on the field before the game. So this guy really looks like a great one. He said, oh, boy, he could be a great one.
Well, you want to see some speed? Let's take a look at it. This guy catches the ball. It looks like he's a little bit out of position. There he is on your far left side catching the ball. And then when he comes up, now take a look at this. Hold it right here. The great running backs find the back door. Now he recognizes it, and let's roll it now. He finds the back door, and once he hits that back door on a punt or a kickoff return, it's normally off to the races, and everybody will quit because they know how fast this guy is.
They look like the rest of the guys chasing, running in sand.
Woo, that was pretty. Here we go. Where's the back door? Where's the back door? I found the back door. Right now, he knows that since he was in grade school, when he was even, he was leaving. And he's gone.
Napoleon Kaufman breaks it 82 yards in a kickoff return following the Colts field goal. And with the extra point, the Raiders have taken a 7-3 lead. He looked as fast as the Rocket who was on the bench there next to him.
Nothing like a great highlight.
Jeff Jager kicks off downfield, and here comes Ronald Humphrey for Indianapolis.
Humphrey from the 3.
He breaks it and gets out to the 34-yard line.
Humphrey returns to the 33-yard line.
We welcome those of you who just saw the Chicago Bears beat the Oilers 35-32. I'm Don Trickey along with Beasley Reese here in Oakland, where the Colts went on top on a field goal, had a chance to score a touchdown, but had a drop pass in the end zone, and then on the ensuing kickoff after their field goal, Napoleon Kaufman, a little rocket out of the University of Washington, broke it 82 yards for a touchdown. Raiders 7, Colts 3. Harbaugh the NFL's leading passer with a rating of over 105, sets his team at the 33-yard line. Andre Bruce makes the stop. That's the first kickoff return for a touchdown by a Raider since Tim Brown in 1988, when he ran one back 97 yards. Boy, it happened fast.
If you blink, you missed about 20 yards of it.
You talk about that cutback backdoor move, but it's not only finding the backdoor, but how quickly he went through it.
Oh,
three guys that looked like they had a shot at him. With a long yardage play, here comes the Raiders set up to blitz. Second and almost 13.
I think Jim got it off in time. He got the timeout call in time. That was close, though.
So right now we have a timeout on the field with the Raiders in the lead, 7-3. Jeff Hostetler sidelined after a throat injury. Suffered against Denver that resulted in the final. Here's some footage that only NBC has so far. Tomorrow, the National Football League office in New York at 410 Park Avenue will be reviewing it. Wyman, a linebacker for Denver, comes up, lower screen, delivers the forearm shot to the throat of Hostetler. He was immediately ejected from the game, but the Raiders lost their starting quarterback. Right now, the Colts try to get the lead back, in 7-3. Second down and 13. Now going to the rush. Steps up. Here comes a big pass rush. And the Raiders, led by Aaron Wallace, sweep in and sweep under Jim Harbaugh back inside the 20-yard line. A 10-yard loss on the play. There is Jeff Hostetler. Hopefully they're going to have him back for their next game, but there is, it's actually called the cricoid cartilage. It protects the throat, the front of his throat, the forearm by Wyman, who's never been known as a dirty player. Knocked it out. In fact, he couldn't travel back with the team on the plane after the game in Denver. Had to stay, and the following day they were concerned about the air pressure in the plane affecting it. But tomorrow that film you just saw will be looked at by the NFL. The Raiders thought the penalty to Wyman was light, a $4,000 fine. Here's a throw to Brian Stabline. As he turns up on third and long yardage, gets nowhere as he's taken down by linebacker Rob Fredrickson. So Beasley, the Colts have to punt it.
That was a very good defensive series by the Oakland Raiders. Good to say Oakland again also. Good linebackers. This is a great-looking football team, the Raiders on paper. Athletic, across the board, fast wide receivers, big, fast, mean linebackers, and a guy like Tim Brown returning punts.
He was telling us at their practice Friday in El Segundo that this is what he loves to do. He thought about giving it up when he's catching passes, but he said this is what he's known for, returning punts, and this time he's got to do well to
Brown at the 38-yard
fine
line.
tackle of Jason Belzer. We'll be back as you watch the NFL on NBC. We're back across the bay from San Francisco, Oakland, California. The Raiders, the prodigal sons, have returned. Right now they hold a 7-3 lead. Their touchdown on an 82-yard kickoff return. Harvey Williams runs and
Ball carried by Harvey
previous
Williams.
carry, you'll remember, was a fumble that led to the Colts opening field goal. Jeff Hostetler, after he was hit by Dave Wyman immediately ejected from that game last Monday night at Mile High Stadium, and Dave Wyman had this to say about the incident.
You know, to hit him the way I did, but it looks worse than it is, I think, on film. But you know, I screwed up. I got booted and I got fined, so you know, that's that. And now it's on to the Chiefs.
So that may not be the last of the story. As mentioned, the league will be possibly reopening it.
The pass from
Harvey
Ben Evans to
catches
Harvey
a swing
Williams.
pass. Stephen Grant, who's been playing some good outside.
Tackled by Stephen Grant after a gain
I
of 4
talked
yards.
to Hostetler right before the game about this, and the thing that upset him, number one, he said it was definitely a cheap shot. He said that really what upset him is that Darryl Hobbs was fined $5,000. He's a wide receiver for the Raiders for having his towel in the wrong place, and a guy who cracks slapped him in the throat is fined $4,000 for an attack like that. So that's what has Jeff upset about the whole thing.
Well, they got Chad Brown of the Steelers for $12,000 for a hit that was very borderline for being late. Here's their pitch back to Napoleon Kaufman. Previous time he had the ball, he ran right through the Colts kickoff coverage team for 82 yards in the game's only touchdown.
You know, we talked to the coaches about these, all of these players, and really Napoleon Kaufman, they say, can be a very special athlete. He catches it, he runs it, he's a major change of pace when he comes into the game. He can do it all.
A lot of people speculated he might be a third down back in the league, catching passes because of his size, but he's got the strength to run inside the tackles. Raiders get a first down, leading 7-3 in the first quarter. Harvey Williams takes it across midfield. He's down to the 48-yard line of the Colts.
Tackled by Stephen Grant.
And again, number 59, Stephen Grant, was on the stop.
Harvey Williams is second in the AFC in rushing with 532 yards and 6 touchdowns. So while we speak of Napoleon, let us not forget that Harvey Williams can go.
Williams didn't get the ball much when he was with the Kansas City Chiefs, a former #1 draft choice. Raiders get him the ball a lot. Here's Tim Brown, who rates with the great players in the league now, coming off a 1,300-yard receiving year a season ago. And as Marshall Faulk of the Colts pointed out, he's never really had a great quarterback throwing to him. He said he's got a much better one now in Hostetler, but he's out today.
Nice zone pattern here. Watch Vince Evans throw this ball before Tim Brown had even turned around. When Tim turned around, the ball was halfway to him. Receivers love that. They've got time to catch it before they get hit.
Vince Evans goes to the deep back. That's Napoleon, and Kaufman is stopped by Quentin Coriat, who was the #1 player picked, or #2 player picked in the first round after Edmond, when the Colts had the first 2 picks 4 years ago.
Now watch what happens when Quentin recognizes this play. Watch the speed right now. See how he explodes, takes about 3 steps forward. Normally what Quentin hits goes backwards.
Yes, it does. Born in the Virgin Islands, started Texas A&M. Prototype linebacker, 6'4", 250. Great speed. 19 tackles and a sack a week ago in the upset of the 49ers for Quentin Coriat. 2nd and 10 Raiders. Hoffman. Napoleon is taken down by big Tony Siragusa. Deuce, as they call him, number 98.
All 315 pounds of him, 6'3", in his 6th year out of Pittsburgh. He's just big. He's big and strong. See him in the middle. There are 2 guys on him. But watch him push, push, push. Wow. And then really falls into it.
Siragusa was a training camp holdout over his contract. They finally got it settled. They've got a nice rotation in the defensive front of Indianapolis. There's a lot of good players, including their #1 pick of 95, Ellis Johnson, a defensive tackle from Florida. On 3rd and 11, Evans fires a fastball, but it comes in high. He was shooting at James Jett, one of the fastest Raiders, and they have many speed men. James Jett, a gold medal winner in Barcelona in the 4x100-meter relay team.
Ashley Ambrose covering for
Evans thought that this was going to be a blitz because one of the linebackers, number 51, Trev Alberts, faked the blitz and then jumped out in coverage. So Vince had to get rid of that one real quick. Might have been throwing it away.
Big stop for the Colts. The Raiders now have to punt the ball. Jeff Gossett, having another good year, stands at the 50. Markers are down as Gossett hits a wedge shot 100 feet in the air. It comes caroming down and goes out of bounds at about the 15, but we have to see what the marker is. Somebody might have been downfield early. We got an offside call. That'll make it 4th and 6, so the Raiders will still punt.
You know what? That might be enough for them to switch and go to Jeff Yeager and try to kick this one.
We'll see. But
yeah, I believe he's trying to find his spot over there.
Get this straightened out.
Nope, Yeager's jogging off.
Yeah, Gossett coming back out. Apparently there were offsetting penalties. There was an illegal motion penalty signaled late against the Raiders, so apparently it's offsetting. And we'll do it again.
Some of these do-overs can
from the 41.
end up with a dangerous result for the kicking team.
Another very high punt hit downfield by Gossett. It turns into the end zone despite the best efforts.
Almost an excellent play in the end zone.
Carl Kidd almost kept it out as you watch the NFL on NBC.
I got it.
Conclude play in the first quarter with their prior to the Raiders move to Los Angeles. The Bears, led by Vince Evans, spoiled the going-away party. Evans threw for 2 touchdowns, including this 21-yarder to Ken Marjoram, and he showed his trademark scrambling ability. As that day, the Bears beat the Raiders 23-6. Vince Evans out of Southern California, drafted by the Bears in 1977. He's still in the league. Now we go back to live action. Indianapolis trailing at the outset of the second quarter, 7-3. Jim Harbaugh stands in. Raiders come with a big rush and sweep it under again. Coverage sack. Beasley had no place to go. Wow.
They were in a double zone coverage, and that means that there were people in the flats, there were people 2 safeties deep, but the defensive line of the Oakland Raiders is manhandling the offensive line of the Indianapolis Colts. Every play, as Vince Evans cheers for his teammates, every play Jim Harbaugh has been running around in circles, ducking and dodging for his life. And looks like he's shaken up a little bit here.
Shaken up a lot. Jim Harbaugh coming out of the game now. So Erickson has to come in. Craig Erickson, who makes $2 million a year, more than double what Harbaugh makes, at least for now, although Harbaugh's getting a new contract soon.
When you look down at the defensive linemen taking the shots on Jim here, across the board, it's all very talented people. Pat Swilling with 5 sacks, Chester McGoughan with 4 sacks, Jerry Balls weighing 330, and Anthony Smith and Andre Bruce with 4.5 sacks.
Erickson was not very effective. 1 touchdown and 4 interceptions before he was yanked early in the season. But here's a guy that can change an offense. Marshall Faulk turns to the outside and goes all the way out to the 26-yard line. And a penalty comes in after the play. Marshall saying somebody got his face mask. We'll see what the referee, Jerry Austin, says.
Tackle by Terry McDaniel.
At the end of the play, face back, 5 yards, first down.
That's just enough for the first down. Obvious passing down, so the defensive linemen and the defensive backs and linebackers are all thinking pass, and it always kills you when they give it to a real good running back who's got that type of open field ability. Right at the end,
Gives the Colts the first down at the 31-yard
line. It was
line.
Pickens up over the top, grabbing
Was a 19-yard run.
That's a major win for the Colts offense as they had a 3rd and 23.
And pick it up.
Wow. Marshall got 21. They still didn't have the first down, but then the penalty, and the Colts drive on. Pitch back. Moving the ball is Lamont Warren, and he tries to turn it up, but the Raiders are there as McLaughlin at 325 pounds comes across the field, makes the play, along with big Jerry Ball. And outside linebacker Mike Jones.
You know, that's probably the kind of plays that the Colts will have to work. They'll have to try to get to the corners quickly, just reach blocking. Every lineman blocks the guy to his left. And Lamont Warren trying to find a crack in the seam. There was none.
Harbaugh testing now. We're not sure just what the injury is. Waiting for a report on that. It could be a banged-up hand, but he seems to be okay. Must have hit his hand on a helmet. This point being not serious. As Craig Erickson has a serious problem. He does get the ball away. As the Raiders are playing some tough defense. Marshall Faulk had the ball, couldn't break away. Eddie Anderson, the free safety, number 33, makes the stop for a loss on the play. And here comes Jim Harbaugh back into the game.
You know, front sevens win football games on defenses. And when you talk about the front seven, you talk about the linebackers and the defensive linemen. And you've seen Jim Harbaugh have to shuffle the ball away, have to quickly sling it away. There you saw Erickson in trouble having to do the same thing.
On 7, set up the pass coverage. No question about that. If they get the rush, it makes it a lot easier for the DBs as Harbaugh lets her go long, and a marker's down again. Not close to a completion. There's contact downfield. He was looking for the way of Brian Stabline, who was running near sideline on a fly pattern.
Well, the Colts offensive players are asking for some type of penalty, and they're applauding, so
yeah, they're pointing at the
I
Raiders.
think they got what they wanted.
Raiders long, one of the most penalized teams in the league.
Holding, number 36 of the defense.
Gary
5
McDaniel
yards.
called for holding, but this year the Raiders under Mike White have cut way down on their penalties. But the Raiders have won Super Bowls in years when they were the most penalized team in the league.
Well, it's an attitude. It's an intimidation factor. The Raiders historically will take a shot at the guy. They take a penalty. They take a roughness penalty in order to just set a standard throughout the league. So you come into Oakland Alameda saying, well, we're going to get banged around today, and it kind of makes you apprehensive.
First and 10 for Harbaugh and the Colts as they continue to trail 7-3. Play fakes, raises the defense. Boy, they're looking long, and they've got a long man in Stabline who makes the play. It's actually Sean Dawkins who has it inside the 15-yard line. And he's down to the 12 as the Colts hit the long ball. And again, they do it on Najee Mustafa.
Wide receiver coach Jimmy Robinson told me that this guy was playing much, much better, really concentrated. He was singing his praises. Look how he relaxes there and lulls the defensive back and then explodes forward. Concentrated right to the end. What a big play. Now this time it's maximum protection. Everybody stays in. Still they got a heck of a shot on him.
Back to live action. The handoff goes, and Marshall Faulk weaves his way inside the 15, down close to the 10. And while we have a moment, we're going to go to Greg Gumbel in New York as we check in on what happened with the Redskins and the Lions. Greg?
All right, Don, here's how it ended in overtime. Tied at 30, Scott Mitchell from his end zone. Darrell Green, the diving interception, and then a little help into the end zone from 7 yards out. 17 straight times now. The Redskins have beaten Detroit today. It's 36-30 in overtime, Don.
And so, thank you, Greg. The Redskins prevail in overtime now. The Colts are challenging to look at Marshall Faulk. What a magnificent. It really is. Phenomenal.
What else can you say? That was beautiful. Steps up in the hole, skip cut left, and then a little power at the end of it to forge his way into the end zone.
Nobody really laid a glove on him. Stepped in standing up.
What is that? Okay, simple little play. Watch the skip. Skip! He explodes out of that skip cut. The guy that developed that cut the best, I think, was Gale Sayers. And now you've got 2 or 3 guys in the league who have perfected it and copied it. Barry Sanders one, Marshall Faulk another.
Blanchard's kicking continues perfect for Indianapolis as he hits the point after to go with his earlier field goal. And that gives Indianapolis a 10-7 lead. Don Criqui with Beasley Reese back at the Oakland Coliseum where Marshall Faulk of the Colts just went in for his 7th touchdown of the year. And Indianapolis now leads for a second time in the game. They led 3-0. Napoleon Kaufman's kickoff return made it 7-3 Raiders. And now the Colts lead 10-7. But look out, here comes Napoleon.
Rocket. Ismail at the 10.
Ismail Azida back there with Napoleon, and it's 86 who takes it across the 25 and out to the 27-yard line. So the Raiders will come back on offense as the NFL on NBC continues. Bright sunny day in the Bay Area. Hoskins, the defensive back for the Raiders, still being worked on. Injured a leg muscle. It's now first down and 10 for the Raiders. They trail 10-7. Here's Vince Evans on the sprint out. Nice throw as he gets the ball upfield to Derek Fenner. And Fenner's all the way out to midfield as he swings out of the backfield. Vince Evans at age 40 still very mobile. He said runs in the family. His father beat him in a sprint when his father was 46 years old. He was just going off to college.
Look how well he moves And you know, Derek Fenner had his shirt off in practice Friday. He looks like a
24-yard gain, first down Raiders.
I mean, this guy is put together. Good catch, good run.
He's been in that weight room, Derek Fenner.
Yes, he has.
And the Raiders on the big gainer out to midfield have first and 10. Evans, who says he just loves the game, the camaraderie, all of it, is on the run and putting some moves on and diving ahead. Nobody open, so Vince Evans at age 40 sprints ahead for an 8-yard gain before he's taken down by defensive end Tony Bennett.
I want all the 40-year-olds to go out in the backyard, take off running, and throw this little jitter juke move at the end. Okay, we can all do that. Now, you 40-year-olds, do that right there.
Then go into traction.
Then go to the hospital.
Tim Brown was saying that actually he has a livelier arm than Hostetler. He got more velocity on the ball. Vince Evans throws a very hard fast ball. Harvey Williams trying to cut back, but there was nothing there. Good defense by the Colts. On 2nd and 3, there's no gain. It'll be 3rd down and 3. Stephen Grant on the tackle.
If you haven't seen a lot of Colts football players, take a look at this one. Oldest active players in the league. There's Vince Evans at the very top at 40. Clay Matthews, Dick Lauer. These guys have played 15, 16 years in the league.
Actually, there's one older that's not active right now. The Ram fans are sure familiar with him, Jackie Slater. He's 41. He's unable to perform now, though, because of injury, but he has not hung it up yet. He's hoping to be back. Evans fires sidearm, and he makes a play. He connects downfield. Give Ismail the rocket. Lights the defender. Ray Buchanan for the ball. Vince Evans was hit hard by Tony Siragusa after he released the ball.
How in the world? This is great coverage by Ray Buchanan. Good position. That's a superior catch by the Rocket.
Rocket's 17th catch of the year. Talking to Terry McDaniel, the Raiders, and said, how about Tim Brown's very fast?
Personal foul. Tackling by the face mask.
Looks like it.
On the defense. 15 yards.
Woo.
First down.
Rocket's first catch of the game with a 15-yard add-on because of the face mask Buchanan grabbed him by. Terry McDaniel said Tim Brown is probably pretty close to world-class fast, but he's not as fast as the Rocket, who seems to be going full speed, then he just blows by you. Goes to another gear.
It looks like Buchanan is trying to knock the ball down, and see how his hand just stays up there? I don't know about this being a 15-yarder. He was trying to slap the ball down, and because of the position he was in, his hand kind of laid across the face mask. He didn't pull it or yank it.
Good game. We've had 3 lead changes in this game. Here is the handoff. Running with the ball is Harvey Williams. The scoreless tie that we started out with was broken when the Colts kicked a field goal. Then on the ensuing kickoff, Napoleon Kaufman ran it back 82 yards for the Raiders.
Snap, ball start. Number 76.
Touchdown.
5 yards. It is still
and it's
first
given
down.
the Colts the lead. They now hold 10-7 in the second quarter. Next Saturday at 11:30 Eastern Time, it's the Breeders' Cup live from Belmont Park as we speak of Colts Cigar trying for the first undefeated season by a major thoroughbred since 1980. Is the headliner in the $3 million Classic, while Serena's song, Heavenly Prize and Inside Information lead the entries in the distaff. Just 2 of the 7 championship races on the card. The richest day in racing. The 12th running of the Breeders' Cup next Saturday here on NBC. Vince Evans throws over the middle, and the ball is separated from Derek Fenner. Had it and lost it, hit by Stephen Grant and Coriat.
If you're wondering about this defense and why this is a very good defensive team. They haven't allowed a 100-yard rusher in 19 games. And look how they break on the ball. Look how they converge at the game. The last guy to get 100 yards was Barry Sanders. That's nothing to be embarrassed about. The defensive coordinator, Mitch, told him. It's a super defense.
Loaded with high draft choices and also with a overachiever like Stephen Grant, who was a 10th rounder out of West Virginia 4 years ago. Throw downfield. Glover had his hands on it, had a turn at the ball, and there's 3 Colts around the football every time it comes in, and usually one of them's number 55, Coriat. who's way back downfield, Beasley making coverage.
He's as fast as many defensive backs. He weighs 246 pounds. Look at him balancing. He's in a zone. Once he realizes that the ball is going to the tight end Glover, explodes for a couple of steps. He's all over the football field. That's why I say he goes to Hawaii. He's playing in big games now because the team is doing better. Other players in the league get to see him play. They'll vote for him.
19 tackles last week against the 49ers for some guys. That's a season. Evans throws hard, and Stephen Grant picks it off. He has been superior to his Colt linebackers with very deep drops on the zone coverage. And Vince Evans thought he had a man open, but Grant moving to the ball quickly picks it off like a wide receiver. And the Colts stop the Raiders' challenge and have the ball back. Indianapolis with a 10-7 lead goes on offense as the NFL on NBC continues. And today, the MetLife blimp is cruising the skies above Oakland, California, powered by twin engines that are capable of reaching speeds greater than 57 miles an hour. Snoopy 2 can navigate at altitudes in excess of 6,000 feet. There's Marshall Faulk running the ball, and the penalty marker comes in, but Marshall's not done as he turns. This is unbelievable.
The ball carried by
There are
Marshall
markers down at the line of scrimmage. There's going to be a holding call against the Colts. It'll come back. MetLife blimp cruising at 57. That's not exactly Mach 1, is it? 57 miles an hour.
But when you're riding the blimp, you just got to be cool. There's a skip cut. There's a skip cut. There's a skip cut. And then that's pure speed as he goes around the corner. I believe we have a Raider down on the field.
You ride in the blimp, traveling. You don't have to be anywhere for a very long time. But it gets great pictures. Eddie Anderson, who's been a terrific player. The free safety for the Raiders is down as he's attended to. Good to see Eddie getting up as we take a break here at the Oakland Coliseum.
Here's Eddie Anderson right here. Now take a look at him. Keep your eye on him. He'll step on a teammate's foot, and then right there is where the real pressure, the strain on his right leg. Now they took him off. They're taking a look at him right now. We certainly hope he's okay.
But the holding call on the play brings the ball back, and the Colts now go first down and 20. Our ball on a draw play gives it off. Carries out close to the 17-yard line. Rob Ferguson comes up and makes the stop.
Marshall Faulk.
Ball gaining about 7 yards.
There's Anderson walking gingerly right now. In his place will be number 31, Joe King, and number 25, Dan Land. They're in for Anderson and Hoskins. So the two starting safeties for the Raiders are out of the game. See how that affects play.
Aaron Bailey comes out wide to the near side. Floyd Turner troubled by injury. Not in uniform today for Indianapolis, a wide receiver. A free wide receiver set. Our ball goes to about a Kennedy long-range offense, but not this time as they hem him and knock down Marshall Faulk. Leading the way was McLaughlin. They talked Beasley how these big tackles for the Raiders stay at home. They don't try to do anything fancy, but just provide a wall up the middle.
Well, when you're 340, you can't go 2 minutes less.
Although Chester ran somebody down earlier on the
Jerry Ball. Oh, it's a lot of man in those two. That's John Fox you were just looking at, the defensive coordinator.
Harbaugh sets himself now in the shotgun on 3rd down and 14. Colts lead the game 10-7, second quarter. Good blocking out of the Indianapolis front wall. Here's a throw downfield. The ball is taken in by Aaron Bailey, and Bailey breaks it for a first down. Mike Jones finally got him, so another big play by the Colts offense on 3rd down.
Aaron Bailey was one step away from going the distance, but I want you to look at Harbaugh. Just keep your eye on him. Somebody's going to tap him on the shoulder right there. Still stays cool and delivers a strike. Double catch there, but Aaron Bailey recovered, got his balance, and was a step away from making it a foot race.
He almost took it the distance. It was a 3rd and 14 play. Bailey's reception and run, good for 22 yards. Colts drive on, leading by 3. Lamont Warren breaks it, and he's out to midfield. The ball carried by a gain of about 8 yards on the play. Joe King, 31, the tackler for Oakland.
Across the country, if you're impressed with what you see in Indianapolis, this is not the same old Colts. I mean, this is a team that's won 8 of the last 12. There's a new team. There's a new offensive coordinator, Lindy Infante. You got 7 new coaches on the defensive side of the ball over the last 2 years. A lot of new players. It's a brand new day in Indianapolis.
They got some talent. Handoff, stick on Lamont Warren. He's knocked down on second and short. We're told that Eddie Anderson now has a hamstring pull, and it's unlikely that the Raiders' starting free safety will be back in this game. Austin Robbins was the tackler for the Raiders on that play, and it brings up 3rd down and about 3. And Hoskins, another defensive back, injured a groin, covering Marshall Faulk downfield, and the 31-yard reception led to the opening field goal.
He does not look happy.
Already troubled at defensive back Albert Lewis, one of the best. He is out.
So that's 3 starters out.
Yeah.
Here they come.
Harbaugh on the run, throws on the run, but comes in low. And there was very good coverage on the play. Aaron Bailey was targeted. But Bruce Pickens was the man who was right with him, and Harbaugh had to bring it in low, so Pickens wouldn't have had a shot at the ball. Colts are stalled. They'll have to punt the ball to the Raiders.
Takes a lot of nerve by the defensive coordinator, John Fox, there to have 3 of your starting defensive backs out and go with an all-out blitz, but the pressure was there, and that's what the blitz is designed to do, make the quarterback throw it away.
Tim Brown, deep to receive for the Raiders.
Ball hit downfield by Chris Gardocki, a high punt. Tim Brown will let it go. Hit the end zone line. No signal that it is.
Punt.
This was going to be perfect. Fisher was right there looking at it and did not hit the end zone line, which would have been a touchback. Raiders get the ball as the NFL on NBC continues, but they have the long field to go. America's Day at the Races, the Breeders' Cup. Next Saturday here on NBC Sports. Right now, we're in the second quarter. 3:24 to play in it. Raiders trailing by 3, 10-7. Deep in their own end. Pinned back there by an excellent punt by Gardocki of the Colts. Vince Evans in for the injured Jeff Hostetler at quarterback. Drops to his end zone. Here comes the rush. Releases the ball to Tim Brown. A big play for the Raiders. Gets them out of jail and gets them a first down out to the 22-yard line. Well, look at that punt again, Beasley. You're a former punt returner.
Oh, this is perfect, Don. For it to travel 48 yards in the air, and then you put backspin on it like a soft balata ball on a golf course, and suck it back onto the green. What an awesome punt. 40 yards and a dead stop.
48 yards and no return. That's as good as you can do it, but the Raiders strike with a good play to get out of trouble. Here's Vince Evans. Good play by Evans. Fake the pitch. Goes to one of his tight ends, Andrew Glover. He's ahead for another Raider first down. Let's see the spot. Now they're moving it back a couple of yards. It might be just short, but it'll be second and short.
Glover for a gain of 9 yards. Football player, you see the fake pitch. Glover's got 3 touchdowns already this season. He's a good receiver. You see he's got that Kellen Winslow type of body, kind of long and racehorsey. I'm certainly not putting him in that category, but he's got similar structure.
Second and just about a foot for the run. This is Napoleon Kaufman. Rockets into the gap. Gets ahead for enough for the first down. Tony Bennett was on the tackle.
Look at the guns on Napoleon Kaufman.
He's put together.
His arms look like little ham hocks.
180 pounds, but steel tough, 180 pounds. And again, a break in the action with 2 minutes to play in the half as the NFL on NBC continues. Interesting talk today about the possibility of replay coming back and the officiating. Joe Gibbs in the pregame show talked about it. There should be a full-time official hired each team once a year, and soon you have all full-time officials as Tim Brown breaks it over the middle, and Vince Evans looking sharp on this drive that started inside the 2-yard line of the Raiders.
Don, they're in their hurry-up offense now. Vince Evans and Tim Brown are the leaders of this team. They really respect Vince Evans because of his years and experience.
Tim Brown wearing his Notre Dame hat on Friday, looking to wager with any teammates against the Trojans.
I was a doubter, not anymore.
Him was a believer as Harvey Williams takes it inside the 40.
Tackled by Eugene Daniel.
Now the Raiders signal for and are allotted a timeout with 1:19 to go in the first half. Raiders driving and trailing by 3. The big show, the NFL on NBC, continues next week with some excellent games. NBC Sports presents more exciting action starting at 12:30 Eastern Time with the NFL on NBC. Featured a classic showdown as Jim Kelly and the Bills, leaders in the AFC East, head to Miami to battle the Dolphins. The Dolphins will be in ill humor after getting knocked off by the Jets today. Some of you will see Vinny Testaverde and the Browns take on Jeff Blake and the Bengals. Check your local listings next week as the NFL on NBC continues, and Vince Evans continues with his downfield attempts at Tim Brown. This one he could not make the connection. Came in low. Ray Buchanan defending.
That was a defensive alignment that the Indianapolis Colts used very effectively against the 49ers. It's a 3-3-5 lineup, the brainchild of Vince Tobin there, the defensive coordinator. And the key player in that is Trev Alberts. He lines up on the inside. They have 3 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers, 5 defensive back. Trev's fake splits are blitzes, and it's hard for them to block. They don't know where it's coming from. Very effective against the 49ers in that big win.
Was it ever? They hit Steve Young all day long as Vince Evans now trying to elude the rush. Look at this at age 40, outrunning people. Get the ball downfield. He's now 8 for 14 throwing the ball for 104 yards. Intercepted once. Remember the Stephen Grant interception that stopped the Raiders' previous drive in this quarter.
This was the 3-3-5 again. Trev is the joker.
Ellis Johnson, their top draft pick, put heat on. 62.
Vince with so much balance and speed and court sense, we'll call it, at age 40.
Ray
Buchanan now back to return the punt for Indianapolis. Colts will have just 67 ticks on the clock. Another penalty marker down. We've not had a kick today without one, except for the return by McCallum.
Before the snap, before the offense moves, we got the defense in the neutral zone.
He also said to Joe Gibbs that just like players and coaches who make a lot of mistakes, officials should be getting fired if there are too many mistakes. It's the American way.
That's the American way, but you know, it's for most Americans, they aren't making split-second decisions. They aren't running full speed, trying to keep up with some of the fastest, biggest, strongest athletes in the world. They're not standing in the middle of gigantic men cursing and swinging one another about. So, you know, we can't take away from the job that they do.
There's some vile epithets floating around down there.
Oh, there's some words you don't want to talk about.
First down for Vince Evans. Good throw and a catch. That's Fenner out of the backfield to the 28-yard line of the Colts. Raiders quickly into their alignment.
This is a good 2-minute drill being orchestrated by Evans as they take a timeout down.
Timeout Raiders.
Vince Evans is still cool.
Vince Tobin, the defensive coordinator of the Colts, trying to figure out a way to get pressure on. They've been able to hit him like they could Steve Young. Vince Tobin's brother, Bill Tobin, the GM of the Colts, he drafted both quarterbacks in today's game. He got drafted Vince Evans out of Southern California in '77, and then Harbaugh out of the University of Michigan in '87. Jim Harbaugh went to see his dad in Terre Haute, Indiana on Friday night. His dad's the head coach at Western Kentucky. And the Hilltoppers were playing Indiana State in Terre Haute, Indiana. Knows how to wear success well, Jim Harbaugh said. Everybody talks about all his success this year. Said, I'm just enjoying the moment, hope to keep it going. He wears number 4 because he was a great fan of the hockey great Bobby Orr. If you're watching in Boston, you can talk about Gretzky and Lemieux and all the great ones. In Boston, they might be right. Say Orr was the greatest that ever put on skates. offense when he dominated the game. An open man running with the ball inside the 10-yard line. And the Raiders are now challenging as Harvey Williams was uncovered on the play, Beasley.
And that was an amazing open field tackle by Jason Belzer. He misses that. Harvey's in the end zone.
Time a factor, 33 seconds, and Evans wisely downs the ball. Vince Evans talking about his week of practice. Interesting, when we saw him, Beasley, he said the timing really came in on Friday. You really had it all back together on Friday. It's been a short week for the Raiders.
Well, you know what's tough about it is he's normally running the scout team, so the movements a little bit slower. They're showing you the opponent's play, so you don't know it. Things aren't clicking as quickly. Then this week, he started working with the first team, so obviously the speed stepped up a little bit, but you still can't simulate game day speed. So things are really stepped up now.
Colts dig in. First time the Raiders have had this deep of penetration in this game. Evans looks, and he's on the run, and they get him. He's down to the 10-yard line. Game clock ticking down to 26 seconds where it stopped. Now they start it up again as they spot the ball.
Smart move by Evans there. You don't want to make a mistake after getting the ball into this position.
Third down, a throw to the end zone. It came in fast, and there was Colts all around the intended receiver, Tim Brown. Well, they have called their defensive huddle. 81 is the guy they're going to.
Right after I say that's a smart move, Vince throws it in the middle of about 6 people.
Jason Belzer.
He's lucky not to have that one picked off.
Jeff Jaeger now comes out for the field goal try that would knot up this game at 10-all before the half. 11 seconds to play.
Jaeger will attempt
Jaeger, a consistent field goal kicker. Longtime veteran who's had some troubles. He was hurt in the preseason against the Patriots, injured a knee. Now back kicking well as he drives it up and drives it through. 8 seconds to go in the half, and we're locked up at 10-all. 28-yard field goal by Jeff Jaeger. So Ted Marchibroda's team coming in here as a slight underdog in the San Francisco and Oakland papers. Marchibroda talked about his team getting those 3 steps. First you have to believe you win. Then you have to believe you can win consistently. Then you have to go out and do it every week. They've been doing that. They've got the trifecta of big wins, defeating St. Louis by 3, the Dolphins by 3 in overtime, and beating San Francisco by 1 last week at the RCA Dome, which was one of the most significant wins for this team since they moved to Indianapolis.
You know, I think the toughest one, Don, is teaching a team how to expect to win. I was a part of teams that expected to win. My rookie year, I was with the Cowboys. We lost 3 games the whole year, and I'm telling you, every time you took the field, you knew. With people like Roger Staubach and Drew Pearson and Charlie Waters and Cliff Harris, you knew you were going to win. You expected to win.
Didn't you start out right in this field? Against the Raiders?
My first game was right here. I'll tell you a Hollywood Innocent story in the second half you won't believe.
Here's the kick downfield, picked up by an up back. Goes well to lumber to a stumbling halt after a 3-yard return. That big fellow was Steve Morrison. And that will do it for the first half of play. A 10-10 tie. 10-10 at the half with Beasley Reese. I'm Don Crickey at the Oakland Coliseum, where the Raiders have 10 first half points, but their touchdown came on a kick return by Napoleon Kaufman of 82 yards. The Raiders were the highest scoring team in the NFL until they went to Denver, and now in the last 3 quarters their offense has scored only 6 points.
And they're running up into a defense that's rated 5th in the National Football League when it comes to rushing defense, giving up only 90.0 yards per game on the ground. So they're running into a tough defense. I think overall the defensive line for the Raiders has been great, but when you take a look at Indianapolis, they have struggled offensively, especially when it comes to their blocking of that great defensive line.
Now the kickoff comes downfield. Raiders get out a channel of blockers, and running down the field with the ball was Calvin Jones, number 44, running back from Nebraska. They've been alternating their kick returners. We've had different people back. They're obviously, the Colts are kicking away from Napoleon Kaufman. 10-10 game. Mike White, 59 years old. They talk about a much more disciplined atmosphere. He's cut down on the team committing so many penalties. And Ted Marchibroda talking about now having a team that's good enough to win and a team that expects to win. Coming off 3 straight wins over 3 winning teams. 49ers got back on track today after losing in Indianapolis last Sunday. They laid the Rams to waste in St. Louis. Vince Evans takes a deep drop. Rushes on. And it's an incomplete pass.
Evans is back at the 23-yard line.
Whittington out of Indiana University putting the heat on Vince Evans. And he is credited with the sack.
By Bernard Whittington.
I'll take a look. Here's a real good look at Bernard coming in here. It's a very smooth play fake.
Kevin Gogan,
Number 56, Tony Bennett, was the first to grab Vince Evans. And then Whittingham at 6'6", 278 comes in to make the grab.
Whittingham, a good free agent find for the Colts. Never drafted.
7 yards, second and 17.
Raiders, 3 starting offensive linemen out, and now we have another one limping in Kevin Gogan, the right guard. Wisniewski and Gogan, the only 2 regular starters in the offensive line at this point. Ball thrown downfield and fast as he is. Darryl Hobbs cannot get to the ball. He's having a good year. Got 18 receptions so far, 18 yards a catch.
And one of the concerns when you're 40 years old is how many of these pounding, smashing pops can you take? So that'll be something to watch.
There the injured. Most recent, Skripanik, the right tackle, injured against Denver. Perry's been out with an arm injury. Mosbar with an eye injury. Suffered against the Cowboys in a preseason scrimmage. Cowboy players said the Raiders had the best personnel of any team they face, other than San Francisco. They spent 3 days scrimmaging against each other, the Raiders and the Cowboys. Look at that throw downfield. It's the great Tim Brown coming across in the middle of a double cover. Down with the ball for a Raider first down. He's got it out to the 44-yard line of Oakland.
Well, this is why he's a 2-time All-Pro. It takes a lot of courage to take these catches right over the middle in traffic. Look at that. You know, it's a concentration issue. Most people see those defensive backs flash around, and then there's Vince Evans taking another pop. It's time for Big Tony McCoy.
Another good player, doesn't get a lot of credit. Tony McCoy, a down lineman out of Florida. Raiders attacking hard now as they have Harvey Williams running for yardage. First down carry gets him to the 47. Williams, 22, was the #1 rated high school running back in America. Played high school ball in Texas. Everybody thought he'd go to Texas A&M. He said he lived too close. He'd been to all their games as a kid. Every Saturday he went to LSU.
He's from an area in Texas known as the Golden Triangle. Around that Bay City, Baytown, Beaumont area. A lot of great ones have come out of there.
Beaumont, boy, they've had some great ones.
Oh, yeah.
Here's a throw over the middle, and the ball is taken in nicely. Darryl Hobbs makes the reception. He's down to the 46-yard line of Indianapolis. So on this opening drive with Evans throwing sharply. First to Tim Brown. Out of Hobbs, the ball's advanced down to the 46-yard line.
Now, this was a real good timing play. Vince hit his 3-step, 5-step drop in regular routine, in rhythm, getting it out to the wide receiver.
2nd and 7.
Both these coaches, along with all of us, want to extend our very best to Marv Levy, the coach of the Bills, who left the hospital today and went home after his cancer surgery at Roswell Park in Buffalo last week. Marv doing very well. Mike White coached for Marv when Marv was the head coach at California, and Teddy Marchibroda, of course, ran his offense with the Bills, some of the great Bills teams of recent years. They might have another one. Everybody wrote him off. I tell you, they got a defense now that has 21 sacks already. Had 24 all of last season. The Bills are back, and the Dolphins seem to be slumping badly. They were beaten again today. Look at this long ball to the end zone. The Rocket. He explodes and talked about that second gear that Terry McDaniel, his teammate, was talking about. You think he's going as fast as he can go, and you think you're close to him. The ball's in the air. He goes to another speed and blows you away. 46-yard scoring play. The Rocket just runs away, Beasley.
Great blocking. Vince Evans just throws it up as high and far as he could go. And the Rocket Ishmael ran by Ray Buchanan and company like they were standing still. I tell you, when you got a guy like the Rocket, you just throw it high and you throw it hard. He'll make the adjustments.
His 18th catch of the season, his first for a touchdown. Raghib Ismail. Really starting to come of age as a wide receiver in the NFL after his...
Extra point's good. Offsides on the defense. Will be penalized on the kickoff by 5 yards.
After Raghib's All-American career at Notre Dame, he first went to Canada, and now he's settling as possibly a great one in the NFL. Standing ovation here in Oakland as the Rocket, Raghib Ismail, just blasted off for a long touchdown reception in the end zone. Now the ensuing kickoff comes down. Fielded by Ronald Humphrey. He's got a problem. Raiders coming after him. They sweep him under, back at the 7-yard line. Kidd, number 46, makes the tackle as we watch Raghib again, Beasley.
Sliding underneath. He's so fast, he outran Vince Evans' arm, smoking slid underneath it.
Somebody stop me, says the Rocket. And repose on the bench now as the Raider defense comes out. Indianapolis up against it. Deep in their own end, down by 7. A lot of time to go early third quarter. Marshall Faulk with those cutback moves. Fights for some yards, got out to the 11. Gain of about 3 on the play.
It's hard to describe how loud this crowd will become in this stadium. It's one of the classic spots under a new configuration. I mean, some of the players say this is crazy. The fans are about 20 feet away from him.
Well, that's what you're talking about. Al Davis and Al Ocasale of the Rays. They said that an intimate setting is what really energizes a team, and this really is a great setting. And now the Raiders strike again as McLaughlin just blows through everybody and makes the stop in the backfield. Marshall Faulk had no place to go. Didn't even have a look, and Ted Marchibroda right now is looking for answers.
Well, the Raiders are smelling blood right now. That big defensive line has played great all game long. Big Chester McLaughlin. They cannot stop the guy.
Nobody can. He has become a dominator. Third down. Harbaugh in the shotgun. Here comes the blitz. Harbaugh stands in. Gets it away and has to really throw it away as there was no place to go. He was looking in the direction of Marshall Faulk, but there were so many people around him. Pat Swilling puts the heat on here.
There's nothing he can do here, Don. Once he sees everything collapse, he's got to throw it away or give up the points in the end zone. This crowd could really, I mean, this is a football town. Crowd knows how to get into it. Driving into the game, it looked like the parking lot was on fire. Just campfires everywhere, barbecues, football town.
And here's the punt by Gardocki as he hits it downfield. Beautifully by Tim Brown. As this Heisman Trophy winner in '87 in Notre Dame runs it back down to the 44-yard line as you watch the NFL on NBC. Evans rolls out, makes the throw. Fenner has it, upended by Buchanan's shoulder tackle, shin high, but there's a gain of 6 on the play.
Really the only way you can bring down a guy that big.
He is big.
Kind of catch him low. Kind of leaning over, putting his shoulder on Derek Thurman. Now watch Derek, and remember, he's 6'3", 245.
Started with Seattle and went to Cincinnati. Came to the Raiders as a free agent.
Buchanan is 5'9", 189 to give you an example of the matchup there.
Vince Evans hands off. The Colts really looking for some inspirational big plays now from their defense to try to stem the tide here as the Raiders are really starting to roll it down. As Crowd's been with them, a big touchdown throw to give Ismail, and Vince Evans pushing all the pedals now, trying to get this offense of the Raiders stopped.
Now, I think that Vince Tobin is going to go with that Joker formation that I've been telling you about again. They're sending an extra defensive back. Trev Alberts, number 51, is back in the game. He plays the Joker position. Let's see if they can pick it up this time.
Joker. There's a throw by Evans, ball in the air, and penalty marker comes in. Brown's looking for a call. He might get one. Marker comes in, and a lot of Colts trying to protest. Is it a foul on Brown? Well, we'll wait and see.
Number 59, Stephen Grant, almost had another interception. That ball hit him in the hands, almost in the stomach. It's a great read by Grant.
Grant's going to be sent to his room if he doesn't stop protesting. Well, what I saw was, what'd you see?
I saw great defensive coverage.
This is they're trying to decide.
Number 33, automatic first down.
Ashley Ambrose is called for the foul. Number 33 of Indianapolis.
The pass interference.
Well, you see the Joker formation ending with Vince Evans on the ground. Ashley Ambrose is upset since he was unfairly penalized.
The Raiders going to a bye week after this game, and they're next at Cincinnati on November 5th. Right now, the run by Napoleon Kaufman takes the ball inside the 25-yard line, where Eugene Daniel makes the stop as the Raiders have really taken over the game here in the third quarter.
Eugene Daniel.
They really have started to control the game. You're going to see some gambling by the Indianapolis Colts defense now. They'll be blitzing more. They've got to figure out a way to get these guys off the field. Watch Napoleon here. Just kind of explodes. He's got so much speed. Runs it, catches it, and do it all.
Good second look. Our producer today for NBC Sports is Kevin Smolden. Our director, Kelly Atkinson. We're coming to you from sold-out Oakland Coliseum. Here's a throw to Tim Brown. Under crossing patterns, freed him up. Jeff Hostetler stopped him, but Tim Brown's inside the 15-yard line with an Oakland first down.
Vince Evans has seen every zone in the book. You see the linebackers dropping back, hitting their back pedals. Vince Evans finds a little soft spot, as does Tim Brown. First down.
Tim now with 4 catches today.
71 yards total. Two-time All-Pro, Tim Brown.
And a 4-time Pro Bowl player. There is Evans standing in, throws in the flat. Incomplete. It brings up second down at the 13-yard line of the Colts. Quentin Coriat covering on the play.
In man-for-man coverage, and that's what we'll see here, I think. They've got to put enough pressure. It's got to be some blitzing, man-for-man coverage in the backfield.
Vince Evans has now thrown the ball 25 times. Good numbers for stepping in. 15 completions.
Absolutely. 208 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That's not bad for coming off the bench.
And the Raiders challenging again, leading the game 17-10. The second time they've led in the game. They led 10-7 in the second quarter. Evans fires low, but they're going to rule it came in on the skip to Derek Fenner, an incomplete pass.
I think Vince knows he missed one here. That was at least a 5-yard gain if he'd just thrown it up high enough. You know, all week long the Raiders talked about playing consistent football and playing throughout the football game. They were really embarrassed that Monday night game, and they wanted to redeem themselves. Most of them said the bad thing is you have to wait a week when you lose like that.
It was a tough one. It was, a lot of them say it was a very personal thing the way he got beaten around. Here is Evans trying to elude the rush. He does. A penalty marker's thrown. Evans is looking for somebody open, and he fires it away wisely in the end zone. Incomplete. Ellis Johnson, the rookie #1 draft choice, was the man who put the heat on Vince Evans. As a collegiate, Evans was the Rose Bowl MVP in 1977 for Southern California. Drafted in the 6th round by the Chicago Bears.
Holding, number 64, 10 yards, repeat 3rd down.
Okay, that's holding. You know what? That scramble right there by Vince Evans, that'll take a lot out of him, especially a man 40 years old. That was a major league, yeah, that was a major league scramble. And, you know, starting, cutting, stopping, running all the way to the sideline.
Jeff Hostetler on the sidelines, giving all the input he can.
He can't give Vince those young legs to his
7:39 to go in the quarter. They're down in 20. Evans throws to an open man in the flat. This is Darrell Hobbs. Big time hit put on him by Stephen Grant, but Hobbs is cut down at the 6-yard line.
The Raiders have consistently found open receivers over in the corner of these end zones. Vince knows right where he's going before the play even starts. He backs up looking at the safeties, reads the defense. That lets him know what area of the field is going to be open. He spins right away and hits Hobbs.
Just short of the first down, so that sends out Jeff Jaeger for what would seem to be a sure shot field goal with 7 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter. He hits it up and good. 24-yard field goal, and the Raiders now extend their lead to 20-10. Raiders back on track after the debacle at Denver. Back to Oakland, where the Raiders, who trailed twice in this game and were tied 10-10 at the half, in the lead 20-10. Good times rolling here. Every game day's Halloween for the Raider fans. This is where they belong, isn't it, Oakland?
You should see the parking lot before the game. All of the costumes, all of the barbecue pits, everything else.
They have a good group.
Beautiful sight.
Here is a ball booted downfield to Ronald Humphrey. He slows and is swept under at about the 26-yard line. So Harbaugh and the Indianapolis offense really need some big plays now. 6:43 to play in the 3rd quarter, and the Colts down by a 20-10 count.
Well, Ted Marshall has several options. He's got some real big league weapons. I would look to get the ball to Sean Dawkins again.
He got it to him a couple times deep.
He had 1 or 2 nice long ones. And I would try to get Marshall Faulk in one-on-one situations some kind of way by running screen passes or throwing him short little passes out of the backfield.
That's Sean Dawkins at the top of your screen against Najee Mustafa. Harbaugh looks, fires hard, good throw. Completion out to the 37-yard line. Aaron Bailey, number 80, makes the catch on Terry McDaniel, one of the best. The 8-year veteran from Tennessee.
The Colts also have to get rid of the ball very quickly on rhythm, like the play that we just saw. They cannot afford to try to put their offensive line in a position where they have to sustain long blocks against this excellent defensive line of Oakland.
2nd and short. Raiders bring their backers up. Marshall Faulk, the lone setback. Now this is Potts who gets it, and he takes it ahead, and Roosevelt Potts, look at the big man go. 260 pounds. He has the longest run from scrimmage and the longest pass reception of the year for the Colts coming into this game. Aaron Bailey, one of the wide receivers, gets a great block.
Good blocking by the wide receivers downfield, but this is really good balance and good running. You may remember that a couple of years ago, before pre-Marshall Faulk, Roosevelt Potts was the halfback on this team. put on a heck of a show running the football, so he can do it all. He's a great blocker, a very good runner.
He came in averaging almost 6 yards a rush. He's still in there. They're going to more power. He comes in to block now. Now he swings out. Here's a long ball. Dawkins going for it. A little bit too much on it. John Dawkins with a step on Najee Mustafa. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Colts.
Dawkins was certainly open at that. Back to Roosevelt Potts for a second, who just made that nice run. I remember when we first met him, you know, he comes from a funny little place out in the country. Here he is stepping up to block this time. And now I believe that Dawkins, yeah, he's definitely got a step there, Don. The ball was thrown too much upfield. But Potts is a neat guy. I'll tell you more about him after this play.
Harbaugh 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 145 yards. Good timing throw. He finally gets his tight end. Ken Dilger, the big rookie from Illinois, who caught 7 for 125 yards last week against the 49ers.
I asked Roosevelt Potts what he did when he first got his NFL check. He's from a small town. He said, Don, he bought his grandmother some teeth.
Yep.
Now, that's a beautiful town.
Yeah. Hey, she's been having problems for a number of years, and
she couldn't eat the things she wanted to eat. He bought her some teeth.
He's done a lot of nice things, really. He told Ted Marchibroda, the Senior Bowl, he said, I'm the guy for you, draft me. Marchibroda said, I bought everything he had to say, and he's backed it up. They drafted him. Harbaugh. The Raiders just keep coming. The hits keep coming when the Raiders are after the quarterback. And Harbaugh taken down at the 31-yard line. That's the 6th sack of this game for the Oakland defense.
At the 20.
Holding, number 53 of the defense, 5 yards, automatic first down.
But wait, there's more. Negated by a holding, and that's an automatic first down for the Colts.
And Don, see, this is too much. That ball's got to be gone right now. Either throw it out of bounds or to somebody. It's too much pumping, checking, pumping. You can't hold on to the ball that long against this great defensive line. Even if it's not there, he could have saved his team about 15 yards by just throwing it away, throwing it in rhythm. Hit your 5-step drop when your back foot hits the ground. If it's not there, you got to let it go. Out of bounds, in the back of the end zone.
Harbaugh throws. Looked like contact, and here the flags come. An interference call on the Raider defense. And so the Colts will get another first down as there's a Colt down on the field. One of their linemen down on the play. That's the right guard, Eric Mollum.
Interference, number 36.
A very good player in the second year.
First down.
Eric Mollum, the injured Colt.
Eric Mollum is attended to. There's a break in the action here at the Oakland Coliseum.
Here's the injury to Eric Mollum right here. He's your right guard, number 65. Let's roll it, guys. And stop it right there. You see how his legs get kind of crushed up. Now let it roll. Now let it roll, fellas. And then he kind of falls back and pins his legs under. He immediately grabs the left and the right knee. It just, so you see him walking gingerly off here. We hope he's okay.
10 penalties on Oakland for 50 yards, but this gives the Colts a chance now. They're inside the 10-yard line, first and goal. Down by 10, third quarter. Marshall Faulk looking for the end zone, and he finds it. Marshall Faulk dances in. A quick move at the 1-yard line as he cut back and inside the pylon. Roosevelt Potts got a big block on the play.
Well, he's running behind all pros. I mean, he's running behind Kirk Loudermilk, Joe Stasiak, Will Wolford on that left side. There's nobody there. You see 87, Sean Dawkins trying to give a hand, but you let Marshall Faulk get a lateral movement. Look at this. And see, this is now you asking someone to outrun Marshall Faulk, and that's not going to happen.
8 touchdowns already this season. Less than half the season for Marshall Faulk. Extra point. by Blanchard, up and good. He's not
Kick is
missed
good. The
field
score,
goals
the
or extra
Oakland Raiders
points
20.
since coming into Indianapolis as a free agent.
17.
And the Colts are back in the game, down by 3. They'll kick off as the NFL and NBC continue. Marshall Faulk's also making some big runs off the field, like in his new television commercial. Who can stop him?
Maybe if they had cars, maybe not. Maybe if they had trucks, maybe not. Maybe if they had helicopters and jets, maybe not.
That was supposed to be Titanic Carter's commercial, but when he got hurt, they went to Marshall. Nike commercial, Kaufman and Jones, the return men, back for the Raiders as the ball is taken back to the 27-yard line, and it'll be first down and 10 there. Calvin Jones running it back for the Raiders. So at least the Colts have taken the crowd out a bit here from their standpoint with that last touchdown drive, aided and abetted by some penalties that resulted in first downs.
Yeah, but you know what? You throw one classic Raider play, and these people are back up screaming again.
That's
that
right.
play to Rocket was a classic. You could pull out the 1965 Raider playbook.
Warren Wells.
And find that bomb.
Tim Brown's at the top of your screen. Flying to the left is Rocket. Here he goes. Going long for the Rocket. He kicks in again. The Rocket has the ball, and it's over. It's over when the Rocket has it in the open field. 73 yards. Once again, the Rocket goes boom.
Personnel. Look at Vince. He doesn't even look at the Rocket. He looks at God. He looks at the sky and throws it straight up in the air. And the little speedster answers the prayer at the other end. Rakib Ishmael. Now watch Vince get cool. Look at him. That's the coolest quarterback in the league.
The Colts get back in the game, and then the Rocket blows it open again. The 73-yard scoring play to go with his earlier touchdown reception. And again, Oakland has a 10-point lead, this time 27-17.
Look at the adjustment to the ball. Eugene Daniels thought he had an interception. But you know what? When you have great athletes, you throw it up in the air, and you believe that your guy will out-position, out-maneuver, out-jump the other team's guy and get the football.
Vince Evans now putting up some nice numbers, Beasley, as he's over 300 yards passing for the day.
Wow. 309, 2 touchdowns, 18 completions, 29 attempts, and a couple of classic Raider bombs. Quarterback to quarterback, veteran to old veteran. Congratulations.
The kickoff hit downfield. This is Ronald Humphrey again. They've not returned the ball well on kickoffs. Raiders fan. What a stick put on there. Calvin Jones, as we go to Greg Gumbel in New York for an update on what the Chiefs and the Broncos are up to. Greg?
All right, Don, a big moment for an ex-Raider. Running back Marcus Allen up and over from a yard out for career rushing touchdown number 100. Only the 4th man in NFL history to accomplish that. The Chiefs are in charge, 21-7 in the 3rd quarter at Denver, Don.
That looked like snow. Must be something wrong with the satellite. I thought it was snowing.
They love it there.
High ball. Hands off. Marshall Faulk is ridden down. Chester McLaughlin got to him. Rocket gets that golf visor on and just goes and kicks back in on the sideline, waiting for the next chance to blast off.
Don's speed is a beautiful thing.
That kind of speed is
It's a beautiful thing. You know, I remember.
well, you were close.
I wasn't in the same ballpark. Speed is a beautiful thing.
Second down and 12. Harbaugh under the gun. Releases the ball to an open man. This is Marshall Faulk. Putting moves on. And Faulk gets it for a first down. And he's out to the 43-yard line. Well, trucks can't get him. He beat the lineman.
He needs an airplane. They need a helicopter.
Planes finally got him.
Look at this. That's
Tackled by
beautiful.
Jerry
Stop and
Ball.
go. Watch this. Sideways.
And Dan Land.
This is gorgeous.
It is something. Time permitting, following our game, we'll be switching you to Denver for the conclusion of the Chiefs and the Broncos game.
When Marshall Faulk gets in the open field, you don't need to say, you just say, behold him.
The commitment to excellence in this team is the commitment to speed. Raiders have a crack team. Harbaugh throws on the run and does nicely to get the ball to Aaron Bailey out to the 38-yard line of the Colts. Colts still have 15,000 tickets left, BZ, for next week's home game against the Jets.
Wow. Well, that's not fair the way this team is playing. The people need to come out. Watch him throw back across his body on the run. That takes a lot of dexterity, athletic ability. You're running right and throw the ball back left. It's the most difficult throw in football. That was very well done.
That was very well done. As Monty said, when Harbaugh was with the Bears, he really ran just to get ahead for running yardage as they try an end around. Ball on the field, and Aaron Bailey does well to grab the ball. Pat Swilling is the one who blew up the play. But now when he runs, he's running to set up the throws.
That's a difficult play to run against the Raiders because of the amount of penetration, not only that they get, but the amount of penetration they've been getting today. I mean, all day long, Swilling, McLaughlin, everybody has been in the backfield. To run a reverse, you have to be able to hold the defense at the line for a long time. I don't think I could guarantee that when I call that play.
Puts Harbaugh in a difficult position. Here comes the all-out rush. Blitz is coming. Harbaugh loses for the moment, gets the ball downfield. But the play is made out of bounds. Pressure by Pat Swilling, forced an error throw, and the Colts, with 37 seconds to play in the third quarter, trailing 27-17, now have to punt the ball.
Well, need I remind anyone that the Colts have two 21-point comebacks?
That's right.
This game is not even almost out of hand for Indiana. They're waiting. They want them to score another 6, then that's uphill.
They were so far down in Miami, they weren't even in the arena anymore, and so people thought. And then they came back and won it in overtime as Gardocki left puts the ball down. Tim Brown.
Brown from the 13.
Returning punt, says Tim Brown, and that's my thing, and he takes it out to the 31-yard line.
You know what I like about what Tim Brown has said? He said, now here I am, several-time All-Pro, got a penalty on the play, and he said that he was mad at himself about the attitude that he took about returning punts. You know, I'm a big star now, I make a ton of money, I'm several-time All-Pro.
Player coming into the game never said illegal motion on the offense. Penalty is declined. First down, Oakland.
So Tim Brown came in, he caught himself, he realized that that wasn't Tim Brown, you know, that wasn't Notre Dame, that wasn't the type of attitude that he's supposed to have, and he came back with a renewed attitude about his punt returning, and it certainly shows.
Yeah, he's been a great player, but people forget he missed the '89 season with a knee injury. It's really a couple of years getting back to full speed. Now he's better than he's ever been. 1,300 receiving yards last season, 89 catches. Just tremendous. And I'll tell you, the Rocket, if he keeps doing this long ball stuff, that's going to take some of the double teams off Tim Brown. Here comes the Rocket out to the left now, the lower portion of your screen.
And by himself. I mean, you know, you can't, I don't know if there's anyone that can cover that guy.
I'd be going to him all day. Ashley Ambrose is backing off, or Daniel now. Here's Vince Evans taking a look near side. Brings it out to Kaufman. And a very fine play. Tackle made by Tony Bennett, who runs him down. Defensive end, who is a former #1 pick of the Green Bay Packers.
Tackled by
Tony Bennett has a lot of speed also. Here he is. Look at him adjust to the angle. Big long arms, long running stride. Violent game.
That's the end of the third quarter.
Tony Bennett, a name long synonymous with San Francisco. This Tony Bennett. We'll have more after these messages from your local stations. The MetLife blimp is co-piloted by Snoopy, dressed as the famous World War I flying ace. Rather than searching the skies for the Red Baron, Snoopy is enjoying NFL football action at the Oakland Coliseum. Cameraman Bob Nicholson high above Oakland Coliseum as the Raiders with a 10-point lead again. And the outset the fourth quarter will look to run clock.
Tackled by Tony McCoy.
Throw to Ragid Ismail, it pays.
I bet that's a very smooth ride up there. Kind of peaceful up there.
Easing along at 57 miles an hour.
Cruise.
Third into the ball.
Well, Davis is liable to send the Raiders back from Denver in that blimp after the lost Monday night, but now they're back on track, looking good. They'll go to 6-2 if they win today. But as you pointed out, Beasley, these Colts have made a big season out of comeback wins. Being down by a lot more than they are now, 10 points, but still 14 minutes to play.
Well, they're spotting them a few. They know what their little system is. Came back 21 to the Jets. Came back down 21 to Miami.
We're the 4th and 2.
There's Joe Bugle. He's doing a fine job. The assistant head coach and offensive coach.
Great football coach was the head coach of the Cardinals. He's really working with a depleted offensive line core. 3 regulars out for the Raiders. They blocked well today. Now they force the Raiders into the punt, does the Indianapolis defense. Back downfield is Ben Bronson. He lost the ball. Raiders have it. Could be a critical error in this game as the fourth quarter turnover gives the Raiders the ball at the Colts 26-yard line.
Poor kid. Rookie out of Baylor with his big opportunity. Super return man, very fast. Look at him try to set it up and took a step without securing the ball. Look at him. Oh, that's unfortunate. You hate to see that happen to a young player, regardless of which team you're rooting for.
So the Colts have it. Eric Ball will keep the ball that he just recovered, and now the Raiders start out. Colts have another turnover. This could be a killer as right now the Raiders go to the run. Harvey Williams takes it inside the 25-yard line, gets down to the 23. He stopped after a gain of 3 yards. On the tackle was Ray Buchanan, cornerback for Indianapolis.
And Stephen Grant.
13:05 to play in the game. The Raiders will now be running clock. Raiders in Denver, they'll hook up again on December 24th right here.
A gain of 3 yards to the 23.
You know, gifts passed out then. They're waiting for you're passing out headaches.
Second and 7.
Vince Evans gets his footing, gets it to Tim Brown. Look at Tim Brown work and weave and get down to the 16-yard line.
It's remarkable to look at this guy run today. We were at practice all day on Friday, and Tim was kind of had a little hitch in his step, looking stiff. And boy, game day, he's running.
A gain of 6
yards. Put moves on everybody.
Wearing his Notre Dame cap.
And that Notre Dame cap, I asked him, I said, you look like you had a little hitch.
Third and less than a yard.
But I was just warming up, B. Warming up.
Game day, it's another story. And off to Harvey Williams, who is knocked down at the 17-yard line.
Ball carried by Harvey Williams.
61 is Tony McCoy, who shed the block and made the stop.
Boy, this is like looking at it being on the field playing linebacker. Great look at it, guys. Look at all the white shirts and white pants diving on the tackle. You know, that's becoming a signature of the Indianapolis defense. 3, 4, 5 guys on the tackle.
It's been a signature of the Raiders defense also today. They've really had their whole defense around the ball. This drive stalls after the turnover by the Colts. Jaeger on the field to try the field goal. He drives it right down the middle. And so the Raiders open up a 30-17 lead with 11:07 to play in the game. This is Don Criqui with Beasley Reese back at the Oakland Coliseum across the bay from San Francisco. As the Raiders, tied up 10-10 at halftime with the Colts, have opened up now a 30-17 advantage over Indianapolis. Pressure on the quarterback. 6 sacks already for the Raider defense. And Colt turnovers have led to the Raiders building this lead. Here's the kickoff downfield. We still have a lot of time left. 11 minutes left to go in the game. Now it's a penalty mark as the ball's kicked out of bounds. And the Colts will start out first and 10 at their 35-yard line. 40-yard line. Jim Harbaugh has been a fourth quarter quarterback. His best success has come in that quarter. That's what it looks like. He's the #1 passer in the league starting today, but in the fourth quarter he's been off the charts.
In the fourth quarter, he's unbelievable. Look at that rating at the bottom of your screen. 120.9. That's the best in the NFL in the fourth quarter. He's been unreal. 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and as we pointed out, a couple of 21-point comeback victories over at least one great football team, the Dolphins.
Harbaugh gets the ball to Potts. Head down, takes on tacklers. He's ahead for 8. The Raiders, on their offensive side, have passed for 308 yards and have rushed for only 48. We give Ismail with the 2 long touchdown receptions for Oakland.
A gain of 7 yards, 2nd and 3.
And the Rocket, you know what? The Rocket didn't practice on Friday, did he?
No, he was taking it easy also.
Yeah, so these are guys that a little banged up, but on game day they can fly.
Harbaugh stands in, lets a long ball go. That's Dilger, the big tight end, who had it and lost it. Dilger beat the linebacker. He had the step or 2 on Greg Beaker, the middle linebacker. Dilger
clearly opened. Super pass. Oh, he had that and then was stripped. That's a good defensive play. So we got to give a little credit to Greg Beaker for a real good strip there. Dilger's a good receiver. He caught 7 passes for 125 yards against San Francisco, plus a touchdown last week. He's got real good hands.
Harbaugh 3rd down. He needs 4 from the shotgun. Here comes Swilling. Harbaugh gets it away, and his receiver goes down. No marker. He tripped. Marshall Faulk out of the backfield, and again, Pat Swilling was running down Jim Harbaugh.
Well, you know, it's the usual suspects. It's Pat Swilling. It's
Boy, he's played great football since coming to the Raiders.
Anthony Smith.
It was a big disappointment. Swilling spent 7 seasons. He was an All-Pro 4 times with the New Orleans Saints. Never thought he'd leave there, but they didn't go to sign him. He went to Detroit and had an unhappy year there. Now he's found his All-Pro form again in his first year with the Raiders. Gardocki hits the punt. Stopped by the wind. It caroms out of bounds inside the 35-yard line. Now move it all the way back to the 42. They're ruling it went out. Raiders good field position again when we come back. Game 2 tonight, as you look at Vince Evans' numbers. Game 2 of the World Series tonight on NBC. Atlanta wins that one behind Gleb, and Cleveland's really in deep trouble. Big trouble. Cleveland will go with Martinez. 40 years old. Lots of 40-year life beginning at 40 for a number of guys, huh?
Well,
Martinez of the Indians. Evans of the Raiders.
Right.
First 300-yard passing day as a Raider. Napoleon Kaufman. That's a shot.
Ball carried by
Deep back stance, and he gets out to the 437-yard line.
Don, can I make a personal announcement here?
Please.
You don't mind?
Right ahead.
I'm 41. I'm announcing right now I'm making a comeback.
You should do that.
I'm coming back.
Hey, cash has never been better.
I'm coming back. What's the average now? $500 and $600 some $1,000 a year?
At least.
I'm coming back.
That's for special teams players.
I'll be accepting offers, contract offers. I'm just making a public announcement to the National Football League. I'm coming back. I'll be waiting by the phone.
Don't hop up and down on 1 foot waiting though, right? Vince Evans on the run, and they get him. That was Tony Bennett who got a piece of him, number 56. Vince still alive and mobile, but boy, it's got to hurt on Monday a little bit more than it does when you're 25.
Well, he's taken a lot of shots. You know, like I said, we're about the same age, so I could speak from experience. I'm very sore after playing golf the next day. At 41, so imagine what he's like.
He's big in the golf business too, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's in the golf management business, all you golfers out there.
Colts have 3 sacks of Evans. Raiders have 6 sacks of Harbaugh. They've also knocked down 4 of his passes. They have 5 hurries on passes, almost sacks. Tim Brown lost his footing.
Evans pass complete to Tim Brown, who is down.
Like he was flattened by a invisible man.
They've got an invisible safety.
Mike White said one good thing about after you get beat like that in this business, you don't have much time to feel sorry for yourself because you got another one to get ready for. Has anybody ever seen Mike White and Bill Walsh in the same place? What a lot of like, huh?
What are you saying?
That's not Bill Walsh over there. Very much alike. They worked together and very similar personalities. Ball hit deep downfield. Ben Bronson fumbled the last time he had it. This time he's taken down at the 15-yard line. With 8 minutes to go, the Colts have the long field to go and a lot of ground to make up.
There's quite a duel. There's the Rocket Ishmael and Vince. Rocket was 9 years old when Vince threw his first NFL touchdown, and he threw it to Golden Richards. You might remember Golden.
Former teammate of yours.
I played with Golden. I played behind Golden. He was first team, I was second team with the Cowboys.
Harbaugh swept under again. Chester McLaughlin just breaking down the Colt pass blocking. What a sensational player he's become. Chester McLaughlin.
Listen, he's been impossible.
Man, he is.
Look at Chester.
Look at the
two
guys.
people. He pushes 2 people out of the way. I mean, that's the whole defensive line meeting at the Quest. Jerry Ball, Anthony Smith, Chester McLaughlin.
Second and 18.
Group sacking.
Colts are really hearing it from these Raider fans, too, as Harbaugh from the shotgun fires up the middle, and it turns off the shoulder of Aaron Bailey. Bruce Pickens defending on the play. That brings up 3rd down and 17. Visiting NFL players, Beasley, have likened the end zone at the Coliseum here to the dog pound at Cleveland. You got some wild fans in there.
And they're right up on you. So at the end of that play, Harbaugh was saying, catch the ball with your hands.
A lot of people rated the Raiders as the best team in the AFC before that long night at Denver last Monday night. And I'll tell you, Oakland's got things right today, even without their starting quarterback, as they make the stop on Marshall Faulk, short of the first down, and the Oakland Raiders defense holds again. And with 7:20 to go, the Colts send out their punter, Gardocki. Another former Bear. Interesting the way the season goes on now. You've got Jacksonville, not only a threat to win the most games ever by an expansion team, they're right in the hunt in their division.
It's a remarkable story.
Carolina winning a 2nd game today.
Very well coached. Both teams, both expansion teams.
Gardocki, an end-over-end punt. Hobbs are giving Tim Brown a break now from returning punts with the game in hand, it would seem, at 30-17 and 6:55 to play. We'll be back as the NFL on NBC continues. Back to Oakland Coliseum. Don Criqui with Beasley Reese. The Colts' last 8 games dating back to last season have been decided by 6 points or less. 6-2 record over those 8 games. But today, the Raiders, after trailing twice to Indianapolis and tied at the half 10-10, have broken it open here with 6:55 to go. Raiders have the ball and up 30-17 lead. They go to the run into the rookie, Napoleon Kaufman. They had him and lost him, and then they get him at about the 46-yard line. Whittington and Ellis Johnson were on the stop. Colts had a very good draft. For number 1, Ellis Johnson, who Steve Spurrier, coach of Florida, thought was as good as Kevin Carter, who was the 4th pick in the whole draft by the Rams. Tony Bennett's down.
Tony Bennett, the injury.
That stops the clock with 6:41 to play in the game. Raiders going to the bye week, so that'll give him time to get Hostetler happy and
Raiders
healthy.
Week, the weekly half-hour Raiders.
He's not happy now with a hit put on him by Dave Wyman of Denver.
No, he's a little upset with David. Called it a cheap shot when I spoke to him before game time.
TV Channel 4. Raiders Week also airs Saturdays.
A couple of notes about these teams that we've been mentioning throughout the game. Colts have not allowed a 100-yard rusher in a long time in 19 games, and they're doing a pretty good job in that area today. No one's close to 100 yards.
Hostetler's a tough customer. He was a high school All-American linebacker in Pennsylvania. Penn State wanted him to play linebacker. That's why he went to West Virginia, because Don Nalen would let him play quarterback. He was so happy he married his daughter.
That's happy.
No, he's married to Don, the coach of West Virginia's daughter. They have 3 boys, and they live in Morgantown, West Virginia in the off-season.
That's appreciating the coach.
That really is. Married his daughter and moved there.
Oh, boy.
Indications are that Hostetler would be back in 2 weeks for the Raiders' next game.
You know what? He was talking to me, and he sounded pretty good. I mean, he wasn't barking out signals or yelling, but I've known Jeff a long time from his Giants days, and spoke very clearly.
Good to see Tony Bennett up, going off under his own power. The next time out for the Raiders will be on November 5th at Cincinnati. Then they play the Giants in the Meadowlands, New Jersey, and then they come home to play the Cowboys. Some great games here at the Coliseum coming up. The Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Steelers, and the Broncos.
Don, isn't this a great NFL season?
It is, yeah.
I mean, when you just look at what's going on, what teams are winning, what teams are losing, what you can count on from Sunday to Sunday.
Well, that's what's great. You can't count on anything.
You can't count on anything. It's a great season.
Second down and 8. Throw in the flat. The ball is taken in by James Jett.
I was watching James Jett in practice on Friday, and his hands are just unbelievable. Now, I can't believe he catches this. He kind of double catches this a little bit. He kind of, struggles to control it. Certainly gets it in time to be counted as a possession. But in practice, he was just snaring the ball, snatching the ball out of the air. Good hands.
Well, they all do. And they all have great speed. That's only his 9th catch of the season for Jett. Calvin Jones is now in the backfield for the Raiders. Play fake to him. Vince Evans throws to the open man. Derek Fenner. He's down to the 21-yard line. First down, Raiders with 6 minutes to play.
James Evans is playing with, Vince Evans is playing with house money right now. Got the nice lead, very comfortable, no pressure. He's already done the job.
Gain of 18 yards.
Certainly this game isn't over, but he's done the job. In the role of backup quarterback, what Vince has done today is he's guaranteed himself another year. When you're called upon to come off the bench for a week or two, you have to perform. You have to do what he's doing.
He really stepped up. He's answered the call.
Yes, he has.
And they, as mentioned, they all were outwardly certainly was going to do it. They have a lot of confidence.
Ball carried by Calvin Jones.
They said that there would be no drop-off. They said that he would make plays.
Yeah, even Marshall Faulk, who he said, you know, the guy's got tremendous leadership. He's a player that people like to be around on the field and off.
A gain of 3
Very
yards.
close to Vince Evans. He coached him 1 year with the Bears. Mike White at the practice on Friday, he gave a rather impassioned address to his team at the close of practice that he expected a big step up in effort. He's certainly gotten it today. And back to live action. Second down coming up for the Raiders inside the 20-yard line of the Colts. Calvin Jones. He was a standout at Nebraska. Well, you've got to be a standout to get on the field with this Raider team. Had some injuries. Lost Marino now for 2 games and maybe next week. Eric Green, the tight end.
After the play is over,
he's out.
personal foul. Number 64, a blow to the head. 15 yards. It's still third down.
Robert Jenkins. Robert's been in the weight room.
They don't let you hit people in the head after the play's over.
Not with guns like that. Mike White is an avid jogger at age 59. Good day for him as after practice runs 7 miles.
Yeah, he said he runs between, this time of year, he runs between 20 and 30 miles per week. And he's got 1 bum knee. He says it's arthritic, but the running, oddly enough, loosens it up and helps him to walk normally for the rest of the day. So he thinks that, well, most people think that the running at his age and if you got an arthritic knee might bother you. He feels like it loosens it up and gets him ready for his day.
Well, he had his Raiders ready today. 5:16 to go, and they're in command 30-17. If the Raiders continue and win the game, they'll be 4-0 at home. The prodigal sons unbeaten in a stadium they made famous along with the Oakland A's, the Oakland Coliseum. Vince Evans still going deep. Break up at the 5-yard line, and a penalty marker comes in on Derwin Gray. Former UCLA defensive back. He threw foul James Jett. Here's more penalty markers. Almost like Raiders fighting with Raiders here as they try to keep the other guys out. And they're winning. 2 flags. And that will stop the clock with 4:59 to play. Gary Austin working on this.
We got offsetting fouls. Pass interference. Number 30 of the defense. Personal foul. Number 76 of the offense. Penalty is going to offset. We'll replay third down.
Oh, that was right on time.
I'll tell you what, I like that football play by number 30. Derwin Gray looked to be there right on time for me. Let's see what he thinks about the call.
He's not buying it. The personal foul on the Raider was against Steve Wisniewski, the left guard. A very good player. So now we have a timeout on the field with 4:59 to play, and the Raiders call a timeout.
Well, that was a big couple of penalties there. That's one of those things as we see Marshall Faulk looking in the playbook.
Still looking for a playoff spot. Talked about climbing the mountain, did Ted Marchibroda. In 11 previous seasons in Indianapolis, his team is the Colts. He hasn't been there the whole time. Have only been to the playoffs once. Ball positioned at the 31-yard line of the Colts. Indianapolis got in a hole here in the 3rd quarter. Now in the 4th quarter, they've been unable to dig out of it, unable to move the ball because of the tremendous unrelenting pressure of the Oakland pass rush. Harbaugh gamely dropping back, but he just doesn't have time to look anybody up downfield.
No, they are very limited in the offensive plays they can run. They really can't challenge the defense vertically because they don't have time to take the 7-9 step drop and throw the big bomb. Great pass rush by Oakland today.
Evans makes the throw. It's incomplete. Ray Buchanan, who had 8 interceptions a year ago, breaks the play up. He has none this year, but he is one of the best corners in the league. Asking Vince Tobin about that, about not getting any this year after 8 last year. He said, well, Mark Carrier, who they had with the Bears, had 10 as a rookie. Everybody said the next year, well, this guy's got to get 20 next year. Said he got 1 or 2. They come in bunches.
Yep, they come in bunches. I had 9 one year. You did? Yeah.
Jaeger will attempt
Yeah, tied for the lead.
You might come back.
I'm coming back, I'm telling you. I'm announcing now. I'm coming back.
I'll be your agent, like Don King will split it 50-50. And I'll spend your half.
It is no good.
You want me to sign a blank check like Don King?
Larry Holmes told me one day. Suppose you make a deal with Don King, you split it 50-50, and then he spends your half. Well, Jaeger hits another one, and the Raiders extend their lead now to 33-17. So they'll go to 4-0 at home, and they will soon be 6-0 on the 6-2 on the season. And you have to think, Beasley Reese, that these Raiders are right back in the Super Bowl hunt.
No, there's no question about it. It's a team that has got all the talent in the world. I mean, you looked at them, and really they had the one horrible contest, and you're going to have that in a 16-game schedule.
Well, they've got a good group here in Oakland. If you've never been out here, you've got to come to a game at the Oakland Coliseum. As on the run is Jim Harbaugh. This is a great setting for football. It's 54,000 in the stadium, but they're right on top of the field, unlike the Coliseum, where, you know, from some of those long seats in the Coliseum, the game's almost a rumor.
We're in the hurry-up offense.
A gain of 1 yard to the 40. It will be second and 9.
He's been good at it all season, but this is an awful big hole to dig out of. Let's see what this is. Sean Dawkins with the ball, and he takes off running. Najee Mustafa, the cornerback, was on the play, and they ruled that he touched Sean Dawkins when he was down.
Dawkins trained a little bit with Jerry Rice a couple of years ago in the offseason.
2 yards.
He's from this area, from California.
I tell you, these Raiders had a turnaround from 6 days ago. Humiliation, total and complete destruction at Denver, and now they come out destroying the Colts.
Well, the Colts can't block them.
That's it. They can't block them.
They can't block them. If you can't block all the great quarterbacks look alike, all the great running backs, you can't block, you don't have any offensive superstars.
Like your man Hollywood Henderson. They couldn't block him, right?
They couldn't block him. I'll tell you that story in a minute.
Here is Jim Harbaugh standing in. Guns it downfield and makes the connection. But it's short of the first down. The 4th down try. The Raiders take it over with 3:08 to play. Well, about Hollywood.
Well, you know, this is the first game I ever played. I played in this stadium with the Cowboys, and I was starting at the corner. Hollywood Henderson was an outside linebacker right in front of me. They ran a sweep. John Madden was the coach then. Thomas tackled the guy first. I dove on top right at the white line. There's a dust of white chalk in the air. Thomas jumps up, and he gets about 2 inches from John Madden's face and said, "You don't have a blankety blank on this sideline that can outrun me to this white line." I was so scared that Madden thought I was in on the thing that I walked over and apologized. Oh, my God.
Ahmad Rashad telling me with the Vikings, he's standing. The Henderson would go over to Bud Grant and say, "Bud, you haven't got anybody can block me. Don't even try." Coming to Bud Grant.
Hollywood was something else.
He was almost in his prime LT quality, wasn't he? I mean, he was.
Well, he was the first number 56.
Yeah.
Before Thomas Henderson, 56 was an ugly number. Nobody would wear it.
Tackled by Devon McDonald.
After that, everybody wanted it out. He used to run back kickoffs for touchdowns. He was the deep back on the kickoff return for the Cowboys.
Hey, the guy turned his life around, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He's been clean and sober for 10, 11 years. He really does good work in the community with kids against drugs.
Oh, he's great. He hit rock bottom.
Yes, he hit rock bottom.
Charismatic guy. I mean, he can light up a room.
Yes, he can.
Calvin Jones going why he deserves some playing time. Lost the ball. Teammate gets it. Kerry Cash, the former Colt, as it is all going right for the Raiders. Even when they fumble, they end up getting more yardage out of it.
Well, this is real good block. And look at the hole running right at your television screen. Good running as he bounces off that tackle. And look at the bounce that the Raiders are getting. It's almost like the immaculate reception.
Calvin Jones, the injured Raider.
2-minute warning. You're watching the NFL on NBC. The last time the Raiders went undefeated at home was in 1976 when they culminated the year with a trip to Super Bowl 11. Fred Biletnikoff, number 25, was named MVP of the game with 4 catches for 79 yards. But the game was sealed when Willie Brown picked off the Fran Tarkenton pass and raced a Super Bowl record 75 yards for a touchdown as the Raiders beat the Vikings 32-14. Willie Brown, one of the great ones from Grambling, 100 yards to glory and to the Hall of Fame where Willie Brown went. He's still with the Raiders. He's working both as a coach and a counselor with the team. One of the great corners ever to play. Napoleon Hoffman runs this ball as the Raiders looking to run out the clock and go back to the locker room with a complete turnaround in their season. Shut out 27-0 at Denver. They come back, fall behind the Colts twice today, then take command with an absolutely overwhelming pass rush that number 4 Jim Harbaugh is going to field tomorrow.
He had no time. He didn't have time to think.
So you'll hear more of these Colts, though. They're going back to play the Jets next Sunday at Indianapolis. And we remind you not to forget the World Series is coming up next. The executive producer of NBC Sports is Tommy Roy. Coordinating producer of NFL football on NBC is John Paratzis. Today's game produced by Kevin Smolin, directed by Kelly Atkinson. The NFL on NBC halftime report produced by Ricky Diamond, directed by John Gilmartin. Associate Director Ross Schneiderman, Technical Director Ron Davis, and we thank them all. As the Raiders now come out of the huddle, leisurely walking to the line, 40 seconds to go in the game. The Raiders about to be 6-2 on the season, heading to the bye week. And Vince Evans puts down the knee. The clock runs out. A job well done by the 40-year-old veteran, and Mike White gets his team turned around. The Raiders with a lot to celebrate. They played great football.
Well, Vince Evans put on a show. There he is, meeting with his old coach, Ted Marchbroda. Vince was very smooth today, very confident. The two coaches, Mike White, Ted Marchbroda, saying hello.
He's so happy he might run all the way home, Mike White.